Hi everyone, and welcome to the General Hospital recap for October 10th. As always, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of our videos or recaps, and also be a beauty and hit that bell down below so you get notifications every time we upload a new recap or video. I recently put up a Friday the 13th video, and me and Cassie also did a favorites video for September, so definitely go check that out. I didn't realize how humid it was out here, and we got a few videos to do, so let's get started. And Nathan and Maxie and Nathan are finally finding a few moments to themselves. There's a knock at the door though. And Nathan thinks it's work because he's expecting a file to be delivered, but it's two women who track down where Ass Man Landers lives. They're taking a selfie with him, and it's totally inappropriate, and I don't feel he should be entertaining this because it only encourages it. And they're asking him advice, and poor Maxie is just sitting in the corner like, okay then. And then she finally puts a stop to it. She shuts the door in their face and says, buy the book. She won't have people coming to their home, and Nathan thinks she's overreacting about people fueling him up and things like that. And he's like, this is gonna pass. This is just like the 15 minutes it's hot and then it's gonna pass. And there's another knock. He thinks it's work, but it's more women, and I'm like, use the peephole, Nathan. That's why it's there. Maxie stops this one sooner than the other one, and they say Ass Man Landers deserves better than her, and Maxie's like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna take you seriously. Do you see what shoes you're wearing? And Maxie wants to move at this point, and Nathan really thinks this whole thing will blow over, and the phone rings, and Maxie's like, oh, more fans? But it's not fans. At Alexis's place, Alexis opens a letter from Kristina's school. It's a check for the balance of her tuition because she's not enrolled in school anymore. What? Why wouldn't she tell anyone that? Alexis makes a call. She called the school. Kristina wasn't suspended. She has a friend in the office. Turns out she quit, and Molly says Kristina wasn't loving her business classes, but Alexis zeroes in on Parker. She thinks it's too uncomfortable for Kristina to be on the same campus as Parker, and that's why she dropped out of business school. Alexis is going to call Kristina, and Kristina doesn't pick up. Alexis thinks Molly knows more than she's letting on. Fine. She tells her about Kristina going out of her way to see Parker. Parker was surprised to see Kristina, but then Molly left. Kristina didn't want to talk about what had happened, and Alexis still wants more information. Someone's at the door. It's David Bench. Alexis was in the middle of getting ready for their little outing, and she had totally gotten sidetracked. So she's not dressed and ready, and Molly meets him, and it's really nice. They have a really nice interaction. So Alexis tells him there's something going on with her middle child, and even though they were supposed to go to the Metro Court, it's not really his scene, and she's not, she's just in her jeans and shirt. And Alexis says they can go somewhere else, and Molly texts Kristina to see what she's doing. At Kelly's, Kristina and Parker are on their little date. Parker says she almost canceled tonight. Turns out tomorrow is the anniversary of Morgan's death, and Parker hadn't realized it until after they made the plans. She wants to be considerate of Kristina being with her family, and Kristina's like, no, it's okay. And Parker asks to see a picture of Morgan, and Kristina shows her a picture of them at Perks. She's planning something for tomorrow. Kristina knows Morgan would want her to enjoy every second of her life, and the best way to honor him is to keep him in her heart and keep living her best life the best way she knows how. Kristina sees her mom is calling. She ignores it. Parker thinks she isn't ready to be in public with her, but she is. Plus, this is a really public place, so if she wanted to be on a secret date, Kelly's would not be the best place to go. Kristina wants to know where they're at before she talks to her parents about this. Parker is serious about this. She wouldn't be here if she wasn't. She is concerned about Kristina's parents, though. It comes out Alexis doesn't quite know about her quitting school, and Kristina will accept whatever fate gives her there. And then Kristina mentions the Yankees, how Dante got the whole family super into baseball this season, and turns out Parker's a Red Sox fan. So honestly, that's where it should have ended. I'm just kidding, I promise. Am I kidding? Yeah, I'm kidding. Of course I'm kidding. Why wouldn't I be kidding? Derek Jeter waved to me. So dinner's over. They're going to go to Parker's for coffee. Kristina pays. They're heading out, and then they kiss. And Alexis and David are outside the door, and he really wants to get to know her. It's all nice. So Alexis opens the door to go into Kelly's, but then immediately closes it because she forgot her phone in the car, and she needs to go get it real fast. And David stays at the door. Kristina and Parker walk right out past him. At General Hospital, Elizabeth wants to tell Jason something, and he's like, oh, I have some news too. He's working on something, and it'll affect her and Jake. He keeps it really vague because nothing's in stone yet, but it'll all be good, he promises. passes. He and Sam start to walk away, and then he remembers that Elizabeth had wanted to tell him something first. Elizabeth makes up this thing about a school trip, and the school needs Jason to sign off on it too, and he's like, okay. Franco thanks Elizabeth for not telling Jason about his twin, and she says she didn't do it for him, she did it for Jason. She owes Jason the truth. And she tells Franco either he tells Jason or she does, and he still doesn't see the point in that. At Sam's place, Jason and Sam are back home. He was cleared to travel so they can go on the New York City trip. Sam doesn't buy what Elizabeth said. She thinks there was something more, and Jason's like, yeah, I didn't buy it either, but we have bigger things to deal with right now. He thinks maybe it's a relationship thing, and honestly, he doesn't want to hear about that. And Sam thinks it could be another Elizabeth lie, and he wants to focus on their trip right now, and then they'll deal with this when they get back. On the boat, Jason makes it back to the room where Huxley is, and he finds Huxley hiding under a blanket. Apparently he wasn't as statuesque as he thought underneath there. Turns out Huxley invested in a painting, and he's having it shipped to the States, hence why he was able to stow away on here, and selling it should give him enough money to free himself from his investors. Jason says that he was a coffee importer, and I know we kind of jumped the gun on it being Jason, but that's what we decided to do on this channel. We jump the gun sometimes they're wrong, sometimes they're right, but that's what we do. So Jason says he was a coffee importer, so he's been on a lot of freighters, and Huxley asked if he saw the navigation equipment, how soon until New York. Thinking about on his little excursion, he was thinking about home, and Huxley gets caught up in his own life, and he wants some conversation right now. And Jason's like, okay, let's have conversation. And it's like classic Jason conversation. What do you want to talk about? He just wants some complex sentences out of him, basically. And he asks Jason if anyone's waiting for him, and he doesn't know. Huxley has cards, and Jason's like, all right, I'll play some cards. Any game, poker. So Jason wins every hand, and Huxley thinks he's counting cards, and Jason's like, of course I am, this deck is marked. And Huxley's like, oh, I didn't think you'd notice it was a marked deck. And he's like, oh, I own shares in a casino. Okay, so like, it's Jason. Okay, it's Jason. Huxley wagers his lucky watch because he wins every time when he wagers it, but he loses, and Jason doesn't want his money. He has plenty of money at home, and there's some accounts he didn't mention to Huxley, and Huxley tells him he can keep the watch though. It's time for the luck to pass on. And now end scene. Quinn was calling Nathan and Maxie's place. She wants Nathan to do another appearance. Alexis and David sit at the same table Parker and Kristina were at. Alexis tells him how Kristina gives her all, and it can get very dangerous for her emotionally. And David's like, well, sometimes things aren't as bad as we think. And the luck has passed on to Jason like the Elder Wand. So that is it for the 10th, and I will see you in 2 seconds for the 11th. All right, have a good day. Bye.